development in Orange Walk gun and drug case as defense requests dismissal. Convicted murderer William Mason sentenced to additional prison time for 2016 kidnapping of Mennonite couple. Police arrest 24-year-old man in Cayo district for murder of sister-in-law during family dispute in Spanish Lookout. And honey producers conclude Queen Bee Rearing Workshop to boost apiculture sector and ensure future sustainability. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, July 18th, 2025.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium, August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there. Bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium, August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Thursday saw a significant turn in the high-profile 2022 Orange Walk gun and drug bust trial when defense attorney Richard Dickey Bradley made a formal application for the case to be dismissed against woman police constable Stephanie Marie Patton Sima, 24, and her co-accused Mexican national Misael Contreras Varela, 21. During proceedings before Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers, Bradley argued that the prosecution had failed to present sufficient evidence to warrant a full trial. His submission, made shortly after midday, invoked the initial two elements of the Galbraith test, which assesses whether the evidence against the accused is legally adequate to proceed. Bradley contended that either no evidence exists linking the defendants to the crimes or that the evidence provided falls short of the necessary legal standard. The Crown, represented by a police surgeon, indicated that it would rely on witnesses already examined in court. The magistrate is scheduled to hear the Crown's response next Monday before making a ruling on whether the case against Sima and Varela will be dismissed or proceed to a full trial. The charges originate from a police raid in Orange Walk in July 2022 during which officers allegedly discovered unlicensed firearms, ammunition, and drugs inside a residence. 4 individuals were initially arrested: Sima Varela, Joshua Brandon Hall, 24, of Corozal Town, and 22-year-old Alden Lara of Belize City. Lara pleaded guilty during his arraignment, admitting to bringing the illegal items into the house and accepting full responsibility. He is currently serving time for his involvement. As for Hall, he was murdered back in December of 2024. His body was found in the Dominguez layout area of Corozal Town a week after he disappeared. The case was originally heard in Orange Walk but was transferred to Belize City earlier this year. Sima is currently on bail granted by the High Court, while Varela remains detained at Belize Central Prison, having been denied bail due to concerns over flight risk. A decision from Chief Magistrate Rogers on the no-case submission is anticipated next week. Convicted murderer William Alexander Danny Mason has received further prison sentences related to the 2016 kidnapping of Mennonite couple Lloyd and Rosie Friesen. Mason, who was already serving a life sentence for the heinous murder of Pastor Llewellyn Lucas, was sentenced on May 31, 2016 to 2 concurrent 24-year terms for the abduction of the Friesen couple. Justice Nigel Pilgrim, presiding over the case, ordered that both sentences run simultaneously, meaning Mason will serve a total of 24 years for the kidnapping charges. Importantly, the judge clarified that this new sentence will only commence once Mason completes his current life sentence for the Lucas murder, which carries an eligibility for parole in July 2051. If Mason is granted parole, then his kidnapping sentence would be activated immediately afterward. This could potentially extend his incarceration until 2075, when Mason would be 95 years old. The 55-year-old inmate has already filed an appeal alleging his kidnapping convictions. Should his appeal be unsuccessful, the applications are dire. Mason faces the prospect of spending the remainder of his life behind bars. Police have today confirmed that 24-year-old Aries Gavaret has been formally arrested and charged with murder in relation to the stabbing death of his sister-in-law, 20-year-old Clarissa Rodriguez, in Spanish Lookout on Wednesday night. Gavaret is accused of fatally stabbing Rodriguez during a violent family dispute that reportedly began over loud music. The altercation took place around 9:37 p.m. on July 16th at a home in the Western Belize community. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Clarissa lying on a veranda with multiple stab wounds. She was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. Following the incident, police detained 3 other family members for questioning and issued an all-point bulletin for Gavaret, who fled the scene. The suspect was captured on Thursday evening in Santa Elena and was today formally charged.
I referenced the murder in Spanish Lookout. We have since arrested and charged Aries Gavarete, a Honduran national, for the crime of murder.
Was she killed because she was playing music loud?
That is the information we have. The dispute began when they were playing music and they had been asked to lower the music.
Does she have a history of domestic violence in this relationship?
Not that we know of. They recently came to Belize.
3 of her family members got detained before the perpetrator was detained. Why were they detained?
An investigation had to be carried out to determine what actually transpired.
Originally, the police had put out a wanted poster. Where did they end up finding the suspect?
The suspect was found in Santa Elena in the Cayo district.
Authorities say Goverte is expected to appear in court in the coming days as the investigation continues into the deadly family dispute. In response to the growing threat posed by Fusarium, a devastating fungal disease affecting sugarcane crops, the government of Belize, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, MEFSC, and in collaboration with key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, is actively implementing a range of measures to mitigate its impact on the sugar industry. A critical step in this effort was a recent visit by a Belizean delegation to Quintana Roo, Mexico, where officials participated in a joint presentation and field visit focused on the management and control of Fusarium in sugarcane. The visit was part of a cross-border initiative aimed at sharing expertise and exploring practical solutions to the outbreak, which has severely affected cane fields in Mexico and Belize. Following the visit to Mexico, the Ministry of Agriculture is now working to implement some of the successful practices being used in that country. As part of this effort, Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño visited cane fields in the Orange Walk district on Thursday, where he observed firsthand the treatment methods being applied to combat the spread of Fusarium. The Prime Minister, along with technical staff and local officials, also toured surrounding fields showing visible signs of the disease to better assess the extent of the outbreak and guide the national response.
First thing we need to do is to identify what is affecting the sugarcane fields. Mr. Osorio, the chairman of Sugar Board, and Leticia, who heads the CERDE, the Research Institute, both visited Mexico to look at what they are doing. Mexico has similar problems to us, a little bit more complicated or complex. They had their first cases 1 year before us. So for example, their sugar yield was 15 tons of cane to 1 ton of sugar. It's horrible. We are 11 tons of sugar cane to 1 ton of sugar. So we're not in a worse state like they are, but we are getting there slowly if we don't do anything. So they are in a pretty bad situation. But they have identified a number of pests and diseases. They have Fusarium. I think they have two species. I think they have Fusarium saccharine and Fusarium something else. We have the same two. They have stem borer. They have stem borer. They have fraghopper, and now they also have mealybugs. We also have stem borer. We have mealybugs. So what they have, we have, in similar intensity probably. But we saw infections. Infections range from grade 1 to grade 5. Grade 1 being the maximum, grade 1 being minimum, right? And grade 5 being maximum. The plant is actually dying, okay? But we also saw that the fields that have grade 5 level infection, after being treated, can still come back. And we saw that in Quintana Roo, in Quintana Roo. So we are looking at their cocktail. We're using some of what they are doing, most of it.
In addition to field interventions, the government is moving to support farmers financially. The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Agriculture are jointly developing a plan to make financing available through the Development Finance Corporation at affordable interest rates. This financial support is aimed at helping farmers begin treatment immediately, increasing the chances of recovery and resilience for the 2025-2026 sugarcane crop.
And so yesterday was the first day that we started to apply treatments to the fields. If we can apply treatments to the fields in the next 2 months, we could save a lot of the sugarcane, because the fields, if not treated today, in 1 month, you will see them actually dying. Because during the rainy season is when the disease spreads faster, and this is the peak of rainy season. And now, this is also the time for fracopper. And so it has to be managed now. So the Prime Minister, Minister Martinez, and his team, working along with us, understand that we need resources on the ground now if we are to have another sugarcane crop, one that is bigger than 883,000 tons. And so we have identified some funds that will be channeled through DFC so that the farmers can have easier access to that resource and at an affordable rate. We cannot continue to borrow money for sugarcane at 14% interest. I'm sorry. And so that cannot continue. So the Prime Minister and Dr. Martinez, being the Minister of Finance and Economy, they now have found a way to get resources to DFC so that the farmers can benefit from it. So this week we'll sit down, both teams, and along with DFC to see how we can strategize, how we can organize the funding to the farmers. And if that funding is coming at an affordable rate, the farmers don't need to wait on us to help them control fusarium. They can go to the bank and borrow money at an affordable rate. And so that is what we are working on this week.
Coming up next, Belize plans to transform tax department into semi-autonomous revenue agency by 2025. Stay tuned.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
It is truly a proud and historic moment for us here in San Ignacio. It gives me great joy to welcome you all to the official opening of the very first wooden basketball court in our community.
The cost of the project in completion was about $200,000. Honorable Mala was willing to assist us with this project. This is a huge, huge investment for us.
There can be serious development through sports, especially if the right foundation, having the right facilities are in place. Then the programs follow. We can't put the carriage front of the house by having the programs, but we only have outdoor facilities. Belize rain 6 months out of the year, and having outdoor facilities is just not enough.
Our focus is going to be on education because that's a part of using sports as a vehicle to get as many of our athletes to international schools to play football, basketball, volleyball, track, whatever it is. The other thing is health. 33% of our people are afflicted by diabetes, hypertension, or some ailment like that. And those things can be prevented. So we want to create again the facilities where people can go exercise, have fun.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
world shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there. Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
In a move aimed at modernizing the country's tax administration, Belize is set to transition the Belize Tax Services Department, BTSD, into a semi-autonomous revenue authority, SARA, by December 2025. While officials from the initiative as a step towards improved efficiency and better pay structures, the plan has sparked apprehension among employees and labor unions. According to sources close to the process, legislation establishing the new statutory body has already been drafted. The transition involves significant changes to staffing, with reports indicating that the number of positions under the new authority will be reduced from approximately 260 current staff members to about 153 roles. This reduction has raised fears among employees that many could face job losses. Members of the Public Service Union PSU have voiced concerns that over 100 employees might be left unemployed as a result of the restructuring. In response to these concerns, Director General Michelle Longsworth assured that no employees would be forcibly dismissed. She explained that staff members have the option to transfer within the wider public service, retire if eligible, or reapply for positions within SARA. It's a choice, she said, emphasizing that staff could decide whether to transition or remain in the public service. Longsworth clarified that the confusion regarding the number of staff versus the number of positions stems from the way roles are currently filled across districts. We're talking about 153 positions, she said. Presently, the Belize Tax Service has over 42 positions, but with multiple staff members filling each, the total staff exceeds 250. Employees who opt to join SARA will need to reapply for positions, but will be given priority during the selection process, according to an FAQ sheet shared during employee sensitization sessions. Those choosing to stay within the public service or retire will retain their pension benefits, she added. The transition also entails a shift in employment status. Staff moving to SARA will no longer be considered public officers, with their service ending in the traditional public service framework and beginning anew under the semi-autonomous authority. Despite this, Langsworth assured that their years of service will be recognized for benefit calculations. The government asserts that the new authority will continue operating under the oversight of the Ministry of Finance with an advisory board in place. Revenue collection will remain directed to the Consolidated Fund, maintaining fiscal continuity. The planned transition, which officially kicks off in December 2025, has been in preparation since October 2024, with work expected to continue into mid-2026. The reforms aim to introduce market-aligned salaries, improved human resource policies, clearer promotion pathways, and performance-based benefits, all geared towards making the tax authority more competitive and efficient. As mentioned, the government has intentions to convert the Belize Tax Services Department BTSD into a semi-autonomous revenue authority SARA by December 2025. The proposal was discussed during a meeting held on July 16th involving key representatives from the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Public Service, and BTSD leadership. Invitations to the session also extended to presidents of the Association of Public Service Senior Managers, APSSM, and the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU. Today, Dean Flowers, the president of the Public Service Union, who attended the meeting on behalf of the union, shared that the BTSD management presented the government's decision to transition into a SARA. This was the first formal notification to the union, prompting numerous questions and requests for clarification, especially regarding the implications for staff and the legal framework guiding such a move. It was emphasized that the union had not been consulted or involved in the decision-making process prior to this meeting, nor were their inputs sought during the drafting of legislation related to the transition. This, according to Flowers, contravenes established protocols mandated by the Public Service Regulations (PSR) and the Belize Constitution, which requires stakeholder consultation in significant organizational changes. During the discussion, representatives from the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Public Service, and the legal advisors struggled to provide concrete answers to many of the questions posed, according to Flowers. No substantial data or evidence supporting the benefits or necessity of the transition were presented, leaving the union unable to form a definitive opinion at this stage. Despite this, the union was able to gather some understanding of the proposed SARA structure, functioning, and potential impact on staff. Flowers noted that while the session was informative, it also raised serious concerns regarding the possible unilateral changes to staff terms and conditions of employment. One of the union's primary worries revolved around the possible adverse effects of BTSD employees should their legal terms and conditions be altered without mutual agreement. Additionally, there is concern over the broader economic implications, especially considering the proposal's projection of a 59% increase in the department's workforce and the potential tripling of salaries, wages, and administrative costs if market-driven compensation promises materialize. The union has requested further data from management, to which BTSD leadership has agreed. They are now preparing to engage in more detailed discussions with all concerned staff members to relay information from the recent meeting, analyze the available data, and clarify the potential impacts. To facilitate this process, the union is organizing a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, July 29 at 1 p.m. This session aims to provide staff with comprehensive insights into the transition proposal and allow for open dialogue. A formal request for time off or special leave will be issued to ensure all interested BTSD staff can participate actively. After 3 days of intensive training and collaboration, the Queen Selection and Rearing Training Committee officially concluded here in Orange Walk today with a closing ceremony that celebrated the achievements of participants and underscored the importance of continued investment in Belize's apiculture sector. Organized by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise MAFSC, ICA, Resilient Rural Belize, and La Universidad Nacional del Sur, Argentina, the workshop brought together 35 beekeepers and technicians from across the country for hands-on and theoretical instruction in queen bee rearing and hive management. During the closing ceremony, participants were recognized for their commitment to strengthening the beekeeping industry through the adoption of improved practices.
In agriculture, of which apiculture is a part of it, there are three main ingredients to a successful industry. One of them is genetics, second is food, and the third is management. These three have to work together. Our apiary industry, 40 years ago, was relatively strong. We used to export to Europe. There was a Honeybee Federation at the time. Things happened, things changed. The industry was weakened by a number of factors. The Africanized bees. Some claim the area spraying at the time for cannabis. Some claim varroa mite. And so mismanagement, the management was not in place. We lost the industry. Our government has been working very hard to bring back the industry. We have doubled the amount since 2018 to now, doubled the amount of farmers today, of apiculturists. And so the industry is growing slowly. I think that we are reaching a point where we have to start looking for our export market. But we can only do so if we have good traceability in place. And at the time, the focus was the wrap product honey. Honey is only one product that bees produce. There are a number of products. You can do a number of things from these soaps. You can do creams. You can do lotions. You can do repellents.
CEO in the Ministry of Agriculture, Serval Abaiza, today also reaffirmed the government's dedication to diversification and sustainability within the agriculture sector through initiatives like this one, which are vital to rural development and food security.
If we look at the way forward, for what we want to continue doing, I mean, this training, I think, was is essential to what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, our goals that we want to accomplish. The selection of our queen bee, again, and I can't explain it better than the minister, in terms of like, your genetics, making sure that you have a very healthy colony. Another key issue that we, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and Bellamino, we have asked ORISA to include honey in the traceability.
The overall bee rearing program, according to Minister Mai, also seeks to include the youths to ensure continuity within the apiculture sector.
One of the things that are very concerning to us is that the aging of our farmers, the aging of our beekeepers. I can mention a number of them that I can remember right now, Julia and Avila. We had at the time Mr. Vasquez. We also had the teacher K. And all of them have passed away. But the good thing about the beekeeping industry is that I see a lot of young people that have interest in it. The sugarcane industry, for example. The same people you see at the AGMs 30 years ago are still there, the older people. So what will happen when these people leave us? Who will replace them? And so if we don't prepare the youth to take up or to take up what our fathers left, we may be running into some food security challenges. And so it is important that you select the youth. And in doing so, then the Ministry of Agriculture has moved into the high schools and sixth forms. So we have one demonstration apiary in SEMJC. We have one in Belize High School of Agriculture. We have one in Toledo, and they are doing fine. I visited the one in Corozal, SEMJC. I saw the one in BHSA. That's the pride. And they are selling honey. I mean, they are doing very well. And so I like to see that. And we need to look at that more. How do we get youth involved in agriculture? We can't wait for the elderly to pass, leave us, and then we don't have farmers. So that's very, very important to us.
The 3-day training program was facilitated by experts in the apiculture sector from la Universidad Nacional del Sur, Argentina.
Esta capacitación para nosotros no solo es una instancia técnica, sino es una instancia de compartir saberes, culturas y territorios. Cada experiencia nuestra en un viaje de este estilo, nosotros no solo aprendemos de apicultura, aprendemos de distintas culturas, aprendemos distintas formas de trabajar, y eso es lo que nos interesa muchísimo. Es por eso que nosotros creemos que este proyecto no solo es sumamente importante para fortalecer la soberanía tecnológica de nuestros países, sino también que se construya de manera participativa esos saberes entre apicultores, técnicos, oficiales, todos en un gran equipo trabajando de manera conjunta. Por último, esperamos que este sea un puntapié inicial de un programa a continuación a futuro, para que esto pueda continuar fortaleciendo ambas apiculturas, la apicultura beliceña y la apicultura argentina, en futuras acciones que permitan.
With the successful completion of the Queen Bee Rearing Workshop, the ministry today also announced its plans for Phase 2 of the program, which is targeted for the month of December. A group of young aspiring musicians proudly graduated today after completing 2 weeks of engaging recording music classes. The program, designed for children aged 9 to 11, took place at the Multipurpose Complex in Orange Walk, thanks to the sponsorship of Jaime Briceño. The classes were led by longtime musician and music educators Lucio Alcacer and Elston Lord, whose dedication and expertise brought enthusiasm and inspiration to the young participants. Throughout the program, the children learned fundamental music concepts, including how to read notes, hold the recorder properly, and play simple melodies.
They have learned theory, they've learned how to read musical notes from scratch. They didn't know anything, and they came in and they very good students. They learned fast, and so we were able to capture at least 3 songs in 2 weeks. And so also they did practical. The practical is actually playing of the instruments. And so today we're going to be enjoyed and blessed by their performance. And lastly, they did some oral, learning how to tune their ear in music.
What were the instruments that they learned to play?
Recorder, keyboard, and guitar.
As for the participants, they were elated with their latest achievement.
I learned how to read the notes, and that's the whole point I came here. I learned the music notes, and I like the class, and I learned the keyboard and the recorder.
I learned a lot of how to play music and how to play the recorder and the piano.
Okay, and you've liked music since you were small, or your mom told you come to the music class?
No, I like music from when I was small.
Okay, any specific instrument that you like?
The piano.
Okay, and you will continue with the classes?
The piano, the recorder.
And you like music from a long time?
Yes.
And what instrument would you like to play?
The piano.
The piano? Why do you like the piano?
Because I just like
You like the keyboard?
Yes.
Which instrument did you play?
The piano and the recorder, but for me, I personally like the piano more.
All right. You like music?
Very much, yes.
All right.
And with these bright young minds on the road to being professional musicians, Alcacer and Lord emphasize the importance of early music education.
You see, music is very essential in every country. Only music, Belize music identify Belize internationally. And at the same time, music is very important for the kids. They develop more academically and in behavior and so many things, positive things. Right?
Music is life for me, and for me, music is the only subject that literally motivates or cultivates two sides of the brains at the same time. So it enhances any academic standard for anybody, young or in between. And so music is very important as a subject.
The success of the program has sparked interest among other families in the community, with plans already underway for 2 more weeks of classes commencing on Monday, July 21st, right at the complex. A fee of $30 is being charged as snacks and beverages are provided. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Fiestarama 2025, bigger, bolder, and better at the People's Stadium August 2nd and 3rd. On Saturday, come out and enjoy football competition, Pro FC 17, Mr. Gerrans, Fire Starter, Technoban, and Sweet Pain. On Sunday, Dog Show, Cabalgata, Mexican Car Show, Panorific Steel Band, Buster B Band, Los Tios, DJ Baba, Father Jesse, mechanical rides, foods, drinks, and more. See you there.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
In a significant step forward for gender equality and women's empowerment in Belize, the National Women's Commission NWC officially inaugurated its new Board of Commissioners on Thursday, July 17, 2025, at a formal ceremony held at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza in Belize City. The inauguration ceremony featured remarks from 2 distinguished national champions of women and families, Honorable Thea Garcia Ramirez, Minister of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, and Her Excellency Mrs. Rosana Briceño, Special Envoy for the Development of Families and Children. Both speakers underscored the continued importance of advancing gender-responsive policies, strengthening institutional support for women and girls, and ensuring representation at all levels of leadership. In her keynote address, Honorable Garcia Ramirez emphasized, the work of the National Women's Commission is more critical now than ever. This board represents a renewed commitment to creating inclusive spaces, fostering empowerment, and ensuring that the rights and voices of all women in Belize are heard and respected. Her Excellency Mrs. Briceño added, I am encouraged by the energy and expertise that this new board brings. Together, we must continue to build bridges, break barriers, and shape a future where all women and girls thrive. The new board, chaired by Mrs. Cristina Romero, includes dynamic leaders from civil society, academia, government, and community development, reflecting a holistic and intersectional approach to gender advocacy and national progress. The National Women's Commission continues to serve as Belize's foremost advisory body on gender and development, working together with government, civil society, and international partners to promote gender equity, social inclusion, and policy reform. The Ministry of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs, and Transportation today hosted the inaugural meeting of the National Bus Company Pro Tem Advisory Committee, marking a pivotal step towards modernizing Belize's national highway bus system. The advisory committee brings together representatives from the public sector, bus operators, the union, commuter groups, and technical experts, fostering open dialogue and collaborative input to guide the implementation of a public-private partnership PPE framework. The meeting was productive and forward-looking, with members expressing their commitment to remain active, engaged, and to provide technical advice to ensure a modern, efficient, and inclusive transportation network for all Belizeans. In attendance from the ministry were Dr. Honorable Louisa Bani, the Minister of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs, and Transportation, Chester Williams, the Chief Executive Officer, and Anna Logue, the Director of Policy, Planning, and Research. Also present were Russell Medina from the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development, and Housing, Eleazar Chi from the Statistical Institute of Belize, Dr. Gilroy Middleton from the University of Belize, Oswin Blaze, bus operator, Troy Gabb, media host, Roy Brisenia from the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, Leroy Martinez from the Ministry of Economic Transformation, and Misty Marin from the Attorney General's Ministry. The committee will continue to meet regularly to advance key milestones in the PPP process, ensuring that all stakeholder voices remain central to shaping Belize's transportation future. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, July 21st, here on Ctv3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, have a safe and pleasant weekend. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night.